How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today we are talking about the recent out-of-print announcement for Arcane Rising, as well as, well, something really interesting, the Everfest Carnival, and how this kind of ties into all of this stuff. Before we get started, I do want to give my obligatory shill, my obligatory shill. If you're looking to pick up sealed or singles, definitely check out my Channel Fireball affiliate link, especially if you want to pick up some Arcane Rising. I imagine prices will go up a bit and then maybe go down a bit after things settle. So if you're still looking to pick up some Arcane Rising, just keep an eye on things, and maybe you can get something affordable. Or you can just pick up, some Monarch or Tales of Aria or whatever else, and you can use the promo code ROGUE and it goes and supports me. Or better yet, you can go to redzonerogue.com and I have like play mats, I have sleeves. If you need any of that kind of stuff, go there and support me that way too. Anyway, all that out of the way, let's start talking about this. So this is something that is expected, very expected. I mean, 2 weeks ago I made a video called setting our expectations, or something to that effect, right? How we should set our expectations going forward. And I literally say in the video that Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising will go out of print, period, soon. And I speculated maybe in about a year, or maybe sooner if they chose to have the sets go out of print at the start of the new season rather than at the end of the new season, right? Because for me, what I consider a season is main set, and then supplemental set. So the end of the season is going to be the next set, the next supplemental set that we don't really know much about yet, or do we? But so that's the season, right? So I figured it would either go out of print at the start of the new season, so after the new supplemental set came out, or at the end of the season after that supplemental set, then you'll have main set, and then another supplemental set. So I figured this will go out of print soon, and so I hope everyone who watched that video 2 weeks ago, bought some Arcane Rising, or Welcome to Wraith, if you want it, because yeah, if you're a new player right now, it's going to be a little rough. I do expect to see reprints. We know for sure there's going to be a reprint of Arcanite Skullcap. We're going to get onto that in just a second. But there's definitely going to be reprints of other stuff, in the future. And I say definitely without definitive confirmation, but they have stated in the post where they said that Arcane Rising is going out of print, any card is subject to, the possibility of future reprints. So keep that in mind. The people that it sucks for the most are the people who didn't see my video and who are brand new and want to play stuff from Arcane Rising. You can still do it, it's just going to be more expensive, and that kind of sucks for a new player. But you could also just, I guess, move on to stuff that's in print. That's an option too. I know how it is though, and you just pick a character or latch onto a character or class that you really want to play, and I know how it is. So that's the Arcane Rising thing. What do I think? I'm not surprised. I literally said it 2 weeks ago. Anyone who watches my videos, it turns out I might know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So yes, it's going out of print. Welcome to Wraith will also go out of print probably soon. So if you want something from Welcome to Wraith, probably want to buy it really soon, like this week or next week, because I would not be surprised if this one goes out of print as well, like soon, like maybe in the next month or so or less. So if you want something from Welcome to Wraith, or just want a box to draft or to play with sealed with friends, you should probably buy it now while they're like 60 bucks and dirt cheap. That's just straight up. And eventually Monarch will go out of print too, but I assume that's a little bit later down the road. Welcome to Wraith is definitely next on the chopping block. So once again, I will reiterate this. It will go out of print. It will go out of print soon. So if you want to buy it, do it now and don't be surprised. So there's that. There's that. So let's get on to what I think is way more interesting. So in the post that they made the announcement on, they showed a picture of an Arcanite Skullcap with a collector number that we've never seen before. So this one is very interesting. The set code for it is both very likely to be the very next set code because it's an Arcanite Skullcap, and we saw a reprint of Finiendo Spring Tunic in Crucible of War, the first supplemental set, and it was a non-foil, so I imagine that this Arcanite Skullcap will be in the next supplemental set, which is the set we're going to be getting Q1 2022, and that set code is going to be the name of the set, or at least allude to the name of the set, and it is EVR. Therefore, through all of that, all of those words, the next set is going to be EVR. So what does EVR mean? The first thing I immediately thought of is the word ever. And that word has significance in the world of Flesh and Blood because of the Everfest Carnival. And Legend Story Studios has gone on record saying that the next set will have support for all of the classes. And what better way to have support for all of the classes than with a carnival, right? So there's just going to be a bunch of characters, a bunch of classes at this carnival. Maybe there's going to be a conflict, maybe they're going to be fighting over something, or maybe they're just hanging out. Maybe they're just hanging out, having a fun time. But yes, I strongly believe EVR alludes to the Everfest Carnival in some way, Maybe the set is just going to be Everfest Carnival, so it's just like I said, just fun and games and that kind of stuff. Maybe like Steelfur, so if you don't watch you know, many other Flesh and Blood content creators, Steelfur does some really good stuff. I know he comes from a varied card game background like myself, but really good content creator, and he suggested something along the lines of a battle for the Everfest, or battle for the Everfest Carnival, where like the forces of Shadow have caught up to Arya, and all these heroes are banding together to fight it, you know, like like Infinity War style or something like that. That's definitely a possibility, but either way, Everfest Carnival, I strongly think this is the direction we're going for the supplemental set. It makes so much sense. It seems so much fun too, even if it's not like a battle for the carnival or whatever. Even if it's just, you know, the characters hanging out, playing like darts or whatever, I think it's going to be really, really cool. I imagine it's probably going to have some sort of conflict or something, because we're going to have, well, it said support for all the classes. They didn't say support for all the talents, so there's no guarantee we see light and shadow stuff, but I suspect we will. I suspect we'll see stuff from light, shadow, and elemental in this set, like some support. I also suspect we will see new heroes. I shouldn't get too deep into this. This is not my official prediction video. These are just things that I've been thinking about. Probably new heroes, probably adult heroes, maybe adult versions of the Crucible of War stuff, but maybe new heroes entirely. Maybe like a new heroes that we've really, really needed flavor for, or I shouldn't say flavor, spice? Some, you know, additional heroes for classes that only have like one hero or a couple heroes, like Mechanologist or Illusionist. Oh, and it's a perfect place to put Illusionist too, because the Everfest Carnival is in Aria, and Aria is where Illusionists are traditionally from, at least in the lore. So, yes. Bottom line, the Arcane Rising going out of print, they threw in a little Easter egg there that I think hints at the name of the next set. We don't have confirmation yet, but that's what I think we're going. And if we do, I'm so down for it. I mean, I'm down for whatever set they do, to be honest. I don't really care. I mean, I do care, but I mean, I don't really care, you know? Like, whatever set they do, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. But, yeah, and I'm just thinking about what they can do for the Everfest Carnival. Definitely, the Arcanite Skullcap is going to be one of the reprints. One thing I'm very curious, I know a lot of people are going to ask, do you think Command and Conquer is going to be in this set? Probably not. Honestly, probably not. As much as it needs to be, probably not. That's just where I'm going to land. I don't know why. Maybe it's precedent because there wasn't anything like that reprinted in Crucible. Maybe it's just because I feel like they want to be reserved on this kind of stuff. But I don't expect to see any reprints other than the Arcanite Skullcap in the new supplemental set. Yeah, so there is that. It'll be very interesting to see when we see like the product sheet and they say how many reprints are going to be in there. If it's just Cracked Bauble and one other, I would not be surprised. Not be surprised at all. No matter how much I want there to be Command and Conquer, because I do. I mean, I personally own a bunch of Command and Conquers, right? I've opened up a crap load of Arcane Rising, like an absurd amount of Arcane Rising, since I've been playing Flesh and Blood. But even though I have all mine, I still want you to have yours, right? I want you to be able to play with it. So it's expensive, and I want people to have it. So it would be nice, but I don't expect there to be there. So anyway, that's this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, especially of the Everfest Carnival. Oh, dude, Everfest Carnival. I'm so stoked. Imagine all of the heroes. Just imagine all of the heroes like getting there and having like little cameos from like Dash in the background. Maybe Dash has her own little booth or little cart and she's doing little tinkering and selling it or something, like little gadgets. Or maybe like there's Azalea and Lexi both at like an archery competition. Or there's like Bravo arm wrestling, who's Bolton or something. I'm just trying to think of some other like really big strong dude. Like yeah, like Bravo arm wrestling Bolton. It just sounds so cool. So I'm really looking forward to that. Or I mean, if something else, I'm looking forward to that too, no matter what. But please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have a good day. And we got some really, really exciting stuff coming up next week in regards to Flesh and Blood. We have my Red Zone Rogue. I shouldn't say my, it's our. We have the Red Zone Rogue 10,000 subscriber celebration week, kicking it off with an absurd giveaway, a really absurd giveaway, as well as the reveal of something really, really sweet that I've been working on that I'm really excited to share with you. And then we're gonna have some interviews by two large members of the Flesh and Blood community. If you rolled off a list of names, let me put it this way, I want to give you hints, just like Flesh and Blood. I want to give you hints, but I don't want to tell you exactly. If you listed off like 5 names in the Flesh and Blood community or space, right? The 5 biggest names, I believe these people would be up there, like really up there. So speculate away. Two guests. One of them will be early in the week, and the other one will be at the end of the week. Probably on the weekend. But anyway, just look forward to that. I know I am, and I will see you next time for some more card game content. Have a good one all. We'll see you later.